Okay, welcome back everyone. Now I'm back again after such a big gap of my last video. This happened because there's too much happening in my life. There's so many changes happened, so many moments came in my life. So it just like someone has not watched my video last year, which was about buying a new house in Canada. And I didn't get a chance to make back-to-back videos. Now this video is very important and this video is one of my favorite. Why I'm saying that? Because this whole 1 year that I'm talking about and what was the experience of buying a new house in Canada, what unexpected happened and what I already knew happened. So this video is all about that. So whoever has not watched my video on buying a new house in Canada, I'm putting the link right here. Go ahead and watch it. But this video is for someone who is actually debating whether to buy a house or not, whether it's, it's good to stay in a rental property or buying a house, because people say buying a house will involve lots of costs, lots of expenses at the end. So this video is for those people. And how does it feel buying a house in Canada? It's been 1 year, and what changes I see financially or from investment point of view. So watch this video until the end and it's very interesting, trust me. So I made this video. What I've done here is, first, I will discuss about the benefits of buying a house in Canada and how do you feel after 1 year, and what were the costs involved, which I had no idea before buying a house and it came up, right? So you don't get to know those costs until unless you have such thing in your possession. Only then you feel, oh yeah, we were not thinking about these costs, and even if we were thinking about these costs, we never knew we're gonna pay so much. So I have broken down the points. First, we will talk about what are the costs involved in the house. When you rent a property in Canada, the only cost involved is the rent. You don't have to worry about the maintenance. You don't have to worry about the renovations, the project, utilities. Most of the time, I would say 50% of the time is not included. Sometimes it's included. Even though if they are included, it's not that much. You don't have to pay any taxes on it. And you always buy a house or you always rent a place close to your work. So you save on the gas as well. You save on the travel cost. People working in downtown, they usually rent a place in downtown, so they just walk to place, or even if you drive 10 minutes, 15 minutes. If there's traffic, 30 minutes, but the distance is not that much. So the cost which came into the highlight in our life, the biggest cost was property tax. Yes, the property tax was something which has hit the pocket so much, but then you see the benefit. When I say about benefits of property tax, it's like property tax, when you own a house in Canada, you get some sort of stability that you belong to the community. You stay in the community, you contribute towards the municipality, you contribute towards the schools. Later, with the age, you grow your family, you're paying for the school to build up, and that's how you connect with the community. So in Canada, you get the results of paying taxes. So property tax is something, a really big expense that you end up paying buying a house. It's somewhere 0.8, 0.9% property tax that you pay off the house. Again, it's just the estimate, which tends to be too much sometimes. And I'm talking about somewhere 3 to 4 grand. Again, depends on the property that you live in, the community that you live in. If it's a new community like I live in, the property tax gets higher because the government wants to build the houses, they want to build the community, they want to build the roads, they want to build streets, they want to bring in, the parks, they want to bring in grocery stores, they want to bring in protective services, which is called as police stations here. So they need money to build all that, right? And of course, they are publicly funded, so you pay tax towards it, and that's why the taxes in a new community tends to be higher. The second thing that has hit our pocket, the maintenance and renovations. I know I'm talking about the new houses, and we have bought a new house. There's not much of maintenance involved, but there's lots of projects involved in the house. So for example, I posted the reel on the other day that we have built, me and Paula together, we have built fence in the backyard, which took a lot of time. We though saved lots of money, but then lots of time was involved, money was involved, lots of energy was involved. It was stressful. You have to manage your work, you come home, work in the backyard for a whole 1 month. It was a job of only 3 to 4 days, but we couldn't do it. So we will work 1 to 2 hours whenever we get chance, and we build that freaking fence in the backyard in a month. So things like that, maintenance, renovation, something goes wrong, your furnace stops working, the HVAC system stops working, something happens in the bathroom, plumbing, electrician, you have to bear the cost because you're not renting anymore. The third cost involved, or the expenses involved, is the utilities. When you own a place, what I have seen is, when you own a place, there's lots of energy consumption. It's there. Your garage door is electric. You use water in all the 3 bathrooms. You use gas in winters. 9 months of the year is freaking cold here in Alberta. So you spend lots of energy on the heat. So the utility cost goes really high. So that's another expense that hits your pocket. The fourth one is the travel between work and home. So when you buy a house, you always look for a perfect spot where to buy. Of course, you don't consider, well, I never considered that, oh, I want a house closer to my workplace, because you won't be working at that place for lifetime. Yeah, we will work there for a few years, but then eventually, you grow professionally and you move around. But then you always want to buy a house which you will pay a mortgage for 20, 25 years. You really want to buy a house somewhere which is affordable. It suits your requirement. It suits your desire, what kind of house you want. So my travel costs have increased a lot in last 1 year. So I drive 2 hours every day. I spend somewhere $6,000 yearly on the gas. So that's a big hit on the pocket. The last one, I would say it's not an expense, but yeah, at the moment it is coming out of your pocket, but then still you get the benefit out of it in a very uncertain situation, which is a home insurance. So you start paying home insurance every month. You see the benefit when there is an uncertainty and something happens, something unexpected happens. So you have that peace of mind that you don't have to worry about that big cost involved. But right now you're just paying a little bit, but you're paying it towards that peace of mind. So these are the costs which you all have to consider when you're buying a house, and they adds up on and all these costs, I would say, are, they are variable except the home insurance, which is fixed, and everything else, it's controllable. You can always control those costs, but they do hit your pocket. And also property tax you cannot control. But when it comes to maintenance, renovations, home to work, sometimes you can do carpool, sometimes, those things are controllable. Utilities, it's controllable. You don't have to use freaking 3 bathrooms in the house if you have 3 bathrooms. So things like that. So these are the costs you guys have to consider when buying a house. And yeah, you cannot get away from these costs. So now let's talk about the favorite part of the video. There are 8 points, 8 benefits I have listed. There could be too many benefits according to people's own perspective, the way they handle their financial situation, the way they have the other factors involved in their personal life. But I have broken down these benefits into 8 points. 8 points. The first one is that you build equity. Now, when you build equity, it gives you more value to your assets. You build equity, which helps you it gives you more net worth. It helps you in getting more credit from the banks, right? With time, you can use that equity for buying another property. You can use it for some other development in the property, which can eventually get you rental income, and then things like that. You can always take out that equity and buy another assets, and you can keep going. You can build a chain out of those assets. The second one is freedom of living in your own space. When I say freedom, I don't have to worry about making noise. I can make noise. I can party in my backyard 7 times a day, like nobody would say anything. So that's the freedom of space that I have. I can park my car wherever I want, outside in my garage, on the street. I can do just whatever I want in my party. I can do whatever I want in my house. That's a freedom of space that I have. If I want to rent out my space, I can do that. If I want to open a small business, which Paula is already doing it, so she has that freedom, and we can do whatever we want in our space. The third one is, it's connected with the freedom of living space. It's the privacy. We have our own privacy. There's no involvement of owner. There's no involvement of property management companies. We can come, we can go whenever we want. So that's a kind of privacy people sometimes miss it when they rent a property. And the fourth one is the tax benefits. Now, tax benefits always comes. There are few eligibility criteria in tax benefits. We were thinking that we get benefit, but unfortunately, we didn't get one because the cost involved or the value of a property was way higher than what was required to claim for the tax benefits. So, but most of the people, they do qualify for the tax benefits. For example, the house has to be under $400,000 in order to get 25% back of their GST. If it's more than $400,000, you do not get any GST back. So we didn't qualify for that. But most of the people, if the property is somewhere below the required value of the house, they do qualify for some tax benefits. Investment opportunity is the fifth one. That is very important because that lets you grow professionally, financially. When we say investment opportunity, there is tons of way that you can make money out of the house. The first very common, and most of the people do, is renting out. So you develop your basement, get it ready and rent it out. It at least covers your one bi-weekly payment for the mortgage, which is a big help. People also rent out Airbnbs. There are tons of ways. People rent out their garage as a storage space. People rent out their basement as a storage space. So there's lots of investment opportunities. You wait for your property to grow, do the appraisal after like a couple of years, and you see you build an equity, and then you buy another property with that equity. So that's also an investment opportunity if you have a house in Canada. The other thing which I already mentioned in the expenses is the community connection or stability in the community. Once you buy a house and you live in a community, you actually belong to that community and you build your foundation living in there. You know your neighbors, you go for community events, you build network, you know people, you connect with them, they trust you, you trust them, and that's how you grow your network, and it tends to give you some benefit in the long run. With regards to anything, when you open a business, the community always know you. You have built that foundation, you have built that trust. They know you since last 5, 10, 15 years. So it becomes easy for you to settle in that community and open a business or whatnot. Another financial acumen of this buying a property is one of the financial benefit acumen, I would say, is the improve your credit score. Once you buy or once you get a credit for such a big investment, whether it's a house or business, your credit score goes from here to here. It builds drastically in 1 year, and I have seen that changes in my credit score. It builds so quick, and it will definitely give me some benefit. It will definitely give me more potential to get some credit from the banks if I'm planning to grow my portfolio, or if I'm planning to, invest some more in the real estate. The last one is Paula's favorite, is the forced saving. Yeah, that's how I say. That's the last benefit I can think of, is forced saving. Once you buy a house, once you calculate every single day how much are you making, how much are you spending, you do forced saving. I haven't saved whatever money we both have saved until now. We wouldn't have saved if we were living in a rental property, because once you buy a house, your mind starts working in a different way. You always think about saving money and making more. I do some small businesses on the side. I do get money from there. So you are in a situation when you buy a house is that you really want to save money because you have a project lined up in next 3 months. For example, if we were doing fencing, we started saving money. You don't want to go out that much. You don't want to party every weekend. You don't want to travel for a little bit because you want some money to build your basement, or you want to get a side door, or could be anything. You go that crazy. And in a way, it's nice because you are actually saving money to, grow professionally. You are actually saving money so that you can make more money at the later stage. So that's how your mind starts working. And I'm quite, happy about all these benefits than the cost involved. And I think most of you who are planning to buy a house would always consider the benefits that you have. It's always good to invest in real estate. Yes, the costs are involved, but in the long term, there are too many benefits, and that they can always, surpass the cost. So if you like this video, or any one of you, your friends and family are planning to buy a house, you think somehow these points, they connect with you, give it a thumbs up, share this video with your friends and family, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. I'm gonna come very soon with another video, possibly a very interesting one. Have a good one, guys.